First of all, I'd like to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem HaMashah Yahweh Shai. I'm your Capt Mashah from the light of Zion, bringing forth this mighty and powerful word. I'm a servant to the servant, right? All praises and all glory go to the Abba, through HaMashah Yahweh Shai. Tonight class is called Daughters of Sarah. For those sisters who know they are daughters of Sarah, which would be the circumcised, and for those sisters who don't know they are the daughter of Sarah, the uncircumcised, right? I'm gonna try to touch all aspects of life that and all walks of life that our sisters go through, right? Whether in the truth or they have become in the truth yet, right? Because all of them come from different backgrounds, different walks of life. Life affected them different in different type of ways, right? I'm gonna open up with the book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of Mashah Yahweh Shai, giving thanks to Yahweh and the Abba by him, right? At the light of Zion, we open up with the Colossians 3 and 17, giving thanks to the Most High through Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, right? I'm going to begin with 1 Peter 3 and 6. The book of 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 6, and it reads, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well, and are not afraid with any amazement, right? So it says, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, right? Calling him Lord. We have to obey our fathers if you sisters don't have husbands now, right? Because that is your Lord, right? That is the authority in your life, right? And you sisters that have husbands, you have to obey him. That's why Sarah called him Lord. Because she obeyed him. He was the Lord in the house. He was the one that set that foundation, right? And a lot of our sisters don't have that, right? A lot of them don't have that father figure in the house, right? Or that husband in the house. But to those who have husbands in the house and father figures, right? You have to obey your parents. And those who don't have them in the house, you have to obey, right? The one that's ruling over you, or the one that's soon to rule over you, should I say, right? Because a lot of our sisters, if they don't have these father figures or husband, they tend to hate. A lot of them tend to hate men because things they have occurred in their life that affect them that they just don't trust, man. Coming to the Lord, you got to get out that mind frame. The Lord can take that mind frame away from you, right? Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughter ye are, as long as you do well. As long as your sisters do well and continue to stay in his faith, you will be called the daughters of Sarah. And you that don't know the law, statutes, and commandments, right? When you starting to come around and keep these commandments, you'll be called the daughters of Sarah. And I'm reaching those that know they daughters of Sarah to stay in this faith, stay in this walk, and continue down this narrow path. And to those that don't know they are daughters of Sarah, that is not keeping the commandments, that don't know about the commandments, right? Yet at this point, right? Because all of our sisters are daughters of Sarah. Those who know it and those going to come into the mind frame of knowing it. The Most High God might ain't put on their spirit yet. It might ain't be their time yet. But we have to wake our sisters up, man. We have to wake them up. You know? Those who are asleep, and you sisters that are woke, wake your sisters up. Don't leave them out there like that. because everybody had a different upbringing in life. Don't look down on them, right? Because they're in a lower state, right? And you sisters that's in the lower state, don't be scared to reach out to sisters that's in different positions that can help you. Because it's about coming back to the Most High God. It ain't about nothing else. It's the only thing that matters, right? So now I'm gonna get a account out of the scriptures, right? I'm gonna go to 1 Samuel, right? 1 Samuel, and I'm going somewhere with this, right? 1 Samuel 1 and 15, speaking on Hannah, right? The book of 1 Samuel chapter 1 and verse 15 and 16. And Hannah answered and said, No, my Lord, I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord. Because now you go back in the scripture, Hannah was picked on, looked down on, because the Most High God had shut up her womb from year to year, right? And her husband had 2 wives, right? You know, the one had many sons and many daughters, right? So she went to the priest, right? Eli, and he thought she was drunk. So she said, No, I'm not drunk. I'm just of a sorrowful spirit. And a lot of our women have sorrowful spirits out there. They have sorrowful spirits because things that happened to them that was tragic in life, that made them turn a different path. So their spirit is sorrowful. It's bitter. Some of them bitter, some of them in pain, right? And don't know where to go at. Because either they wasn't raised in an environment that teaches them how to be women, how to be respectful, right? Or they was raised in those environments that taught them how to be respectful, right? And just had a bad taste of life. Whether they come from the streets or whether they come from families that was well taken care of, and loved. A lot of women have sorrowful spirits, man, right? And the only way, sister, that you're going to come out of that is coming back to the Most High God. That's the only way you're going to come out of anything that you are facing in life. And the things that you face in life, because the Most High God shows that path for you. So let the things that you go through strengthen you. But you got to find peace, and the only peace is in the scriptures. And the only peace is in the Most High God and the Mashah Yahushua. Verse 16. Count not thy handmaid for a daughter of Baal, for out of the abundance of my complaint and grief I have spoken hereunto. She's speaking with grief. A lot of when you hear them talk out there, sisters, they're speaking with grief. They got a lot of complaints. A lot of them been molested. A lot of them been kicked out the house. Don't know where to go. So they take on the things that surround them, their environment. They try to do the best that they can. But sister, that's not your best. Your best is coming back to the Most High God, getting into these scriptures so that you're able to find your head of protection. Right? The book of Luke, chapter 7. And 36. And it reads, And one of the Pharisees desired him that he would eat with them. They would eat with him. And he went into the Pharisee's house and sat down to meat. And behold, a woman in the city, which was a sinner, when she knew that Yahushua sat at meat in the Pharisee's house, bought an alabaster box of ointment. So this sister know that she knows she was a sinner, but she also know that she need to be saved. She also know that Hamashiach, why people eager to call Jesus, can give her that salvation, that can take these things away from her that she's facing. She know the streets couldn't do it. She know the lifestyle that she was living couldn't do that. So she said, wow, heard Jesus is here. She went and found him. So you got to find Hamashiach, why people ignorantly call Jesus. This thing is not going to come to you. If you're tired of the way that you have grown up and the way things are going, the curveball life thrown at you, you got to find Christ. Watch what happened, right? And behold, a woman in the city, which was a sinner, when she knew that Yahushua sat at meat in the Pharisee's house, bought an alabaster box of ointment, and stood at his feet, behold, it's like it stood at his feet behind him, wiping and begging, and began to wash his feet with tears, and did wipe them with the hairs of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them with the ointment. I'm going to read that again. Luke 7:38. And stood at his feet behind him, wiping, and began to wash his feet with tears, and did wipe them with the hairs of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them with the ointment. So this sister did all this here to show hospitality, to show that, you know, I'm coming to you. I'm broken. I need help. I need help. I'm gonna wash your feet with my tears, because life is life is kicking my behind. I don't know where to go at. I've been thrown out my house. Everybody turning their back on me. I can't find a job. I haven't ate in days. So she found out Christ was here, right? This is her way to show that her being humbled. I'm going to humble myself down. So sister, sometimes you got to humble yourself down. Even in a tough situation, you have to humble yourself down. This sister in a tough situation, and she still humble herself down. She ain't go out there looking for no nigga. She ain't going out there looking for someone that can please her. She know that only thing that can take this away from me is my Lord and Savior. So I'm going to come humble to him. I'm coming down to him with my face down, with tears, wiping his feet, kissing his feet, because I know this is my salvation, right? Verse 39. Now when the Pharisee, which had bidden him, saw it, he spake within himself, saying, this man, if he were a prophet, would have known who and what manner of woman this is that touches him, for she is a sinner. Even though people might call you out your name, because the way you're trying to get it, the way you was confused and you thought this was the way out, so you took that road. People talking about you, slandering you for the choices that you make to provide for yourself, right? So he said, if Christ was a prophet, he would have known that. But Christ knew who this woman was. He knew what made her a sinner. Sister, he know what you're doing out there, what making you a sinner. He know that. It's gonna be people out there talk about you. Man, that girl up, she's such and such, such and such. She's still here, she's still over there. But not knowing that you were calling out. You need help. And no one that'll help you, they're turning their back on you. Right? Verse 40. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, Simon, I have somewhat to say unto thee. So Christ, I got something to say up on you, man. I got something to say up on you. All you brothers and sisters out there that talk about these sisters trying to get themselves together and you downing them? He said, I got something to say to you, man. Because y'all think y'all better than her. He thought he was better than her then. Right? Just because his title, who people say he is. Right? And his line of work that he's in, right? Watch this here. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, Simon, have somewhat to say unto thee. And he said, Master, say on. Verse 41. There was a certain creditor which had 2 debtors. The one owed 500 pence, and the other 50. And when they had nothing to pay, he frankly forgave them both. Tell me, therefore, which of them will he love the most? So you say, which of them will he love the most? The one that gave the 500 pence, right? The one that owed the 500, or the one that had owed him the 50? But both of them couldn't pay, right? Verse 43. Simon answered and said, I suppose that he to whom he gave most. And he said unto him, thou hast rightly judged. Because the one he gave most to, right? That's the one that was supposed to give him more. Because he had more to give him. He lent him more. Right? So the one that Christ gave more to, that's supposed to have been the one that paid Christ back more. Right? You're not expecting the one that didn't get Christ nothing, that Christ gave something, he just say, well, damn, I got these little 50 pins, No. Right? I'm going to read it again. We're going to get more understanding on that. 41. Therefore, a certain creditor, which had 2 debtors, the one owed 500 pence, and the other 50. And when they had nothing to pay, he frankly forgave them both. Tell me, therefore, which of them will love him the most? Simon answered and said, I suppose that he to whom he forgave most. Yeah, he forgave most. And he said unto him, thou hast rightly judged. And he turned to the woman and said unto Simon, seest thou this woman? I entered into thy house. Read that again, 44. And he turned to the woman and said unto Simon, seest thou this woman? I entered into thy house. Thou givest me no water for my feet, but she had washed my feet with her tears, and wiped them with the hairs of her head. Thou givest me no kiss, but this woman, since the time I came, and had not ceased to kiss my feet. So he say, now, when I came into your house, you didn't acknowledge me. I gave you all this stuff here. You didn't acknowledge me. Right? You didn't give me no water for my feet. You didn't give me no kiss. You didn't greet me. I came into your house. This woman did all this to me. All of this. Right? All of this. Right? I'm going to drop down to 48. And he said unto her, thy sins are forgiven. Sister, don't stop seeking the Most High God. I know you're tired. You just don't know where to go at. You just don't know who to call on. Because everybody have done you wrong and then left you hanging. It's sisters out there that can show you the way. That's keeping God's laws, statutes, commandments. It's brothers out there, righteous, that can show you the way. This sister was tired of what she was going through. She said, man, I got to get out of this here. I got to come to Christ. The only way you're going to get out of that situation is coming to Christ, Hamashiach Yahushua. And you sisters that's in this truth and that's struggling with things, the only way you're going to get out of that struggle or that stumbling block that's on you, that's in your way, is you keep seeking the face of Christ. No matter what they say about you, You're trying to get to the kingdom of heaven, right? I'm going to go to the book of Psalms, chapter 34 and verse 18. Book of Psalms 34 and 18. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and save such as be of a contrite spirit. The Lord is nigh unto you, sister. He see the broken heart. He see the thing that you went through in life. He know about the miscarriages. He know about how those brothers took advantage of you. He know that. He know that, but you got to come with a contrite spirit. You got to come to him in humbleness, saying, Lord, I'm tired. Show me the way. Show me the way. Everybody have done me wrong in my life, from the people that I love, from the people that I thought I loved. Right? Psalms 34 and 18. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart. The Lord is close to you. He hear you. His hand ain't that. He's not that far. He can't scratch his hand down. He know you sick. He know you got different ailments with your body. He know that. But you got to come to him with a contrite spirit. You got to come to him in humbleness. Right? I'm going to the book of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2 and 3. The book of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2 and 3. Looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith. You got to look unto Yahushua, right? He's the author. He wrote this, and the finisher of our faith. You can't give up faith out there. You can't give up faith. No matter what you're going through. No matter what you've been faced with. Most I know you got 4 children out there, and their dad is not there. You're doing the best that you could. You're thinking about giving them up. You know that. But you got to have faith, because Christ is the author. He can turn that thing around for you. But you got to come to him. You got to come to him. Looking unto Yahushua, the author and the finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross. You got to endure these things. You got to make it through them. You can't give up. You can't let the thing that's in front of you beat you. You have to overcome that. And the only way you're going to overcome that is repenting, coming back to Christ, giving your life to the Most High God. It's the only way you're going to overcome these. That's the only way you're going to endure the thing that's in front of you. Despising the shame and sat down at the right hand of the throne of Yahweh. Despise that shame, man. Despise that. Don't worry about what they say about you. Don't worry about it, because the sister down the road know your situation. She don't want to give you a job because of things you have did in your past life. Don't worry about the shame. You got to endure that cross, man. The book of Psalms, chapter 147 and 3. The book of Psalms, chapter 147 and 3. He healeth the broken in heart and bindeth up their wounds. Did you hear that? He is the Most High God and the Mashah Yahushua. He healeth the broken in heart. He can heal that broken heart. That void you got, he can heal that. And you're trying to find it from man to man to man to man. You never had a father in your life, so you're trying to find that father figure. So therefore, you're going from man to man to man, and you'll never find that. Not on that road, you'll never find that. Right? A lot of our sisters are like that. Broken hearts. A lot of them that's in this truth has been scarred before. Broken hearts. So you don't fully trust your husband. You gotta trust him. You can't let your past coincide, with your future. You can't let that get between that. Because what so and so have done to you. You can't let it stop that fruit from growing. From y'all building that house. And you being this pillar of rest. You can't be on that brother because something that another brother done to you. So you don't want to give your all and all to that, but you'll play around with the scriptures like you giving your all and all to that. Let that thing go. Because the Most High God know what you got going on. You know what you got going on. Every night this man come home from work, you on his back about something. You on his case about something. He's trying to figure out why my wife taking me through so much. Now your wife taking you through that because another brother she done been with. She can't let that go. Let that go. The book of Psalm chapter 147 verse 3. He healed the broken in heart and bindeth up their wounds. He can bind that wound up, man. Right? That thing that's causing you to continue to constantly be sick. You can't make it to work all the time because you're sick. He can bind it up for you. But you have to have faith in Yahweh by Shema Mashah Yahweh Shah. Gotta have faith in Christ, man. That's the only way you're going to walk this walk and complete this mission. That's the only way things in your life is going to turn around. You have to turn around first. Right? You have to be tired and want to give up that life. There's no scraggling the fence with this here sister. Right? I'm going to go to the book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 22. Psalms 55 and 22. The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 22. Cast thy burdens upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Sister, cast thy burden upon the Lord. Right? You sisters in this truth, cast your burden upon him. That thing that's weighing you down, cast it upon him. You feeling unappreciated? Cast that burden upon the Most High. Right? Your husband appreciates you. You just got a lot going on, maybe. Especially in this walk. He's a man of the Most High God. You can't have him all to yourself like that. It don't go like that. His first love is the Most High God. So he have to do the duties of a servant, of a man of the Most High God. Then he have to do his duties at home, right? This thing is a balance. It's already hard as it is for a man anyhow when you come off these plantations. They work you they work you down to the bone, right? They're working you down to the bone. Cast thy burdens upon the Lord, he shall sustain thee. The Most High God gonna sustain thee. He's gonna make sure that you don't move from the thing that you've been taught, from the righteousness that he have laid out before you. Stick with your husband. Let him lead, and you follow him, because he's your head, right? Be that pillar of rest for him, not that pillar of stress, right? He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. God, the Most High God ain't gonna suffer the righteous to be moved. So you ain't got to worry about nothing. Because the Most High God is all seeing. Got to worry about nothing. This man keeping the commandments, you keeping the commandments, your whole household gonna be blessed. Your children gonna be blessed. But don't you tear that household down. Don't you be rotting in his bones. Right? Because a lot of our women, they don't understand these things. Right? I'm going to show you something. Don't be this woman right here, right? I'm going to go to the book of Proverbs. right? Chapter 14 and verse 1. Every wise woman buildeth her house. A wise woman gonna build her house the way she want it to be. The man gonna let her get dominion over that. Okay, you decorate the way you want to decorate. You know, you do your thing in her. When I put my foot down, I'm putting my foot down. She know her place, right? She know that his place in the house is the head. She know that. But she know her dominion is the house, you know. Let her have that, right? Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. But that foolish woman, listening to other women, listen to them no good jokers out there, right? Saying so and so, so and so, so and so, right? Being talebearers and false witness, right? Now you end up tearing your whole house down. Now, the thing that you built, the things that you was comfortable in your own home, right? Well, you had to worry about nothing. You plugged it down with your own hands because of your mind running off in the gutter. Satan getting the best of you. Got attitude all the time. You upset by this. You upset by that. You're trying to control the man. You don't know your role. You got that fat mouth on you. Yeah, you tear it down. Sisters, don't be that woman now. Let your man be the Lord of that house because God gave him that. That was given to him. That's his portion, right? I'm going to go back. Right? I'm going to go back to Psalms 55 and 22. Cast thy burdens upon the Lord. Sister, you got to cast your burdens on the Most High God. He shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. He ain't going to suffer the righteous to be moved. Because what he gave you, he gave you. But don't you pluck it down with your hands. Right? By letting Satan get the best of you. By letting your emotions just play you right on out the picture. Right? Don't run the man off. And that happens a lot. That's a current thing. Because if Jake coming home working all day, been on this plantation all day, getting whipped all day, and got to come on to a scorpion, nah. Jake going up and leave. Right? Don't no man want to deal with that, sister. Don't no man want to deal with that. It's already hard enough as it is out here. The crap that we got to take. Make the house peaceful. Make him peaceful. Make your Lord peaceful. Your husband peaceful. Right? If you ain't got a husband, make your daddy peaceful. Don't come here bugging your dad all the time. Your Abba when he come home from work. Right? I'm going to go to the book of Matthew, chapter 11. The book of St. Matthew, chapter 11. The book of St. Matthew, chapter 11, and start at 28. The book of St. Matthew, chapter 11, and verse 28. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Christ said, sister, come unto me. I will give you rest. I will give you rest. I know you're tired. Every other week you're at the schoolhouse because your children ain't minding you. You don't know where their daddy at. You're trying to raise man child by yourself. Everything you get is going to bills. Christ said, come unto me. I know you're tired. I know you're tired. Your body been aching. You're scared to go to the hospital. You know something in your body ain't right. You got loss of breath. You're feeling like you want to fall out. You just knowing something ain't right. But you ain't got the time to take off. You ain't got the money to go up there. And you ain't got nobody to take you up there. The book of Matthew, chapter 11 and verse 28. Come unto me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me. Christ say, learn upon me. When you learn of Christ, the things that he expects from you. Once you learn of Christ, how to speak as a daughter of Sarah, how to become a daughter of Sarah. For those who don't know, the bloodline within you, sister, is rich. You're a princess. You just been misguided, misled down the wrong road. The Most High God is raising righteous men up, righteous sisters up, righteous women up to build his kingdom. We all come from different walks of life. I know that. But don't think you can't obtain the grace of the Most High God. You got to learn of him. Christ said, take my yoke upon you and learn of me. For I am meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest unto your souls. Come out of that script club. Get down off that pole. Come off that corner. Get out that car. Come unto the Most High God. Come on to him. You know you're tired and fed up. You're crying your eyes out. But the only way that's going to get better if you come unto him and learn what he wants you to do. If not, it's going to continue to happen. You come from a special sister, our foremother. Your bloodline is rich, right? You come from a special people, right? But you have to come back to the Most High God. Smoking, drinking, clubbing, hopping from here, from over there, ain't gonna cut it. It's gonna get worse and worse and worse. That rabbit hole get deeper and deeper and deeper, right? Read that one more time. The book of St. Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28 through 30. Come unto me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Christ said, my yoke is easy, man. My burden is light. I know you're weighted down to the ground. This and that. Christ said, come unto me. I'll make that thing so it won't even faze you. Right? It'll roll right off your back. Right? I'm going to go to the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, page 7. No, chapter 7, page 74. Right? The book of Ecclesiasticus, you read Apocrypha, page 74, chapter 7, and verse 25. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter. But give her to a man of understanding. It's for the fathers. Because it starts in the household, right? It starts from the household. That's why through the spirit of Sirach, the Most High God is speaking to him. It says, marry thy daughters. You have to put it in your daughter's mind to be married. And that this is the way to go. Because if you don't teach them about being married to one husband, to taking care of their children, to love their husband, to take care of their children, they won't know this. How can you expect them to know something they was never taught something? Everything was stripped away from us. Now we're learning things on the fly now, which is a lie, which is sin. Right? That's why we have to marry our daughters. They have to see that in the household is a man and woman. They have to see the love. Because you hear the young people now say, well, I don't want to get married. Everybody breaking up. And they put the stigma on this thing to make it seem like it's a bad thing. When it's righteousness. You don't see or hear boyfriend and girlfriend in the Bible. You're a man and woman, which is husband and wife. God honors that. He don't honor boyfriend and girlfriend. That's what was taught to us. That's that niggism, that niggerism, man. Right? The book of Sirach, chapter 7, and verse 25. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter. You're performing a weighty matter. You're doing something that is passed down through our inheritance, our culture, who we are as a people. You're passing that down. They get to see that lifestyle of being with one man, loving this man, loving their children. You're performing something. You are teaching them something in their life can go on from generation to generation. So when they raise their daughters, they raise them the same way. That's why the scripture says, so is the mother, so is the daughter. So if you raise that daughter, right, bring her up in the commandments. She's keeping God's law, statutes, and commandments. She'll obey her parents. She respect her father and her mother. Then when she at that age, she'll respect her husband. That's a weighty matter being performed, right? Listen now. But give her to a man of understanding. Don't give her to Lil Wayne, Lil Boosie. You give her to a man of understanding that understand God's law, statutes, and commandments. That understand how to love this woman, respect this woman, how to provide for her and protect her. You don't go give her to Joe Blow down the street with his pants hanging off behind. Every 6 months he in jail or prison. You give her to a man of understanding. A man that you know that fears God. You ain't got to worry about nothing. When you give your daughter away, which we supposed to. Now these days you don't give your daughter away. Jake just come through the window and get your daughter. Right? You don't even know she even getting down that type of way. You're supposed to give your daughter away. You're supposed to give her to a righteous man. Because that righteous man gonna lead her right. You don't want to set her in the arms of a man that's busting upside her head, taking her money, selling dope out her car, jumping off on her lease so now she can't get another apartment because you done messed her lease up now. Her credit's bad because she's trying to help him out now. She don't got no money because she gotta send it to she gotta send him canteen all the time. Go up there and visit him all the time. Don't you know that costs money? Read it again, the book of Sirach, chapter 7, verse 25. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter. But give her to a man of understanding. You gotta give it to a man of understanding, man. A man that understands that I have to obey God. I have to take care of my wife and my children. I have to go out there and do my duty as a man of God. I gotta wake my people up. I gotta wake up Jacob. You give it to a man that he's selling dope. He ain't promised to be here. Because when you live that life, it's on the two ways you're gonna go. Prison or the graveyard. Right? And you're gonna drag her right down with him. Right? I'm gonna go to the book of Sirach, which is Ecclesiasticus 11 and 21. Right? Which is page 76. Marvel not at the work of sinners, but trust in the Lord, and abide in thy labor. For it is an easy thing in the sight of the outer one, on the suddenly, to make a poor man rich. It's an easy thing for the Most High God to take a woman that lived a whorish life and make her rich in spirit, and also make her rich in her pocket. Don't think you're always going to be down. No. Marvel not at the work of sinners. But trust in the Lord. Sister, you might be hanging around other sisters that sinners. You trying to get out of that lifestyle. And they tell you, girl, shoot, you need to come on with us, make this fast money. And you give it up and go because you marvel at, dang, they making a little money, man. I don't know if I can wait on the Lord. He ain't moving fast enough. And you get up and go. Don't you know the Most High God on the suddenly can change your life around? But you got to have faith that he's able to perform the things that he say he will perform in your life. See, a lot of our people, we get on our knees, we pray, and we get up and walk away. We don't even get to hear our prayers being answered. Right? I'm going to go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 7, and verse 11. Old classic here, you know. My sister, you got to come back being the daughters of Sarah, man. You come from a rich bloodline, man. You know, from a powerful, you know, a foremother, you know. You got something to be happy for, you know. You come from the greatest people on the face of this earth, man. You are princesses, right? More to the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, 7 and 11. It's like 7 and 11, right? She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house, right? Now, a lot of our sisters are real loud and stubborn. You can't tell them nothing, right? They can see things going on with their eyes and won't turn away from that. And once you point things out to them, so you need to get yourself together, man. You need to take care of your children. You on Facebook all the time. You dressed up with your children dirty. Their shoes dirty. Their clothes dirty. But you at the club every week in new outfits, eyeliner on. You know you got them long eyelashes on, right? Them high heels on, right? But your house looking like trash, right? Your car looking like trash everywhere. Your priorities are not in line. You got nerve to be loud and stubborn. And your feet don't even bow in the house. You won't even stay home. Sister, you got a husband, you won't even stay home with the husband. Soon as someone call your phone, you up and you out. This man got to wonder, dang, where my wife at? Where my wife at? Children ain't home. The children ain't no dinner yet. You don't got time to sit them down. You got an icebox full of microwave dinners, right? You're loud and stubborn. They don't want to hear that you got to keep God's commandments. Sister, get that life up. When you going to get that life up? You 35 and almost 40 years old. You living like you 18. It's time to get that life up now. It's time to walk away from that. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in the house, right? Now is she without, now in the streets, and laugh and wait at every corner. She laugh and wait at every corner. Is she without? Sometimes you gotta learn to go without. Because you going to Jake gonna want something from you when you ask him for something. And they always asking men for something all the time. You got this, you got that. Sooner or later, that man gonna pop that question on you. Right? Get you in a vulnerable, bad situation. Wait on the Lord. Stop being loud and stubborn all the time and pay attention and listen to what people are trying to tell you. You want to be angry all the time at everybody. Ain't nobody done nothing to you. You want to be bitter all the time. Snapping your neck and your hand and your wrist. Cussing all the time, man. That foul language, man. Right? Well, the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, and verse 9 and 10. What I want. That's what I want. Yeah. Book of Isaiah, chapter 32. And I'm going to start at verse 9, right? Because if you don't stop being loud and stubborn, this is what's going to happen, right? The book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 9 through 11. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters, and give ear unto my speech. So I say, rise up. You got to wake up now. You can't be living like you're a teenager no more. You 35 years old with 4 or 5 grown men. Your children are already 17, 18 years old now. And you still want to hang on the corner? Ride around and smoke weed? Come on, man. A lot of our women are at ease, man. Right? You at ease right now. You thinking everything good. You don't want to help nobody pay rent. You don't want to pay rent. You at ease right now. You don't want to listen when someone tell you, sis, you got to get yourself together. Sis, you got to tighten up. That ain't the way a daughter of Sarah's supposed to be living. Your name holds a value. It holds weight. Your foremother name holds weight. And the image that you're portraying out here ain't righteous. And I know you're getting led on by these celebrities. You feeding into it. But that ain't the way to go. Right? Verse 10. Many days and years you shall be troubled. God said, many days and years you should be troubled. Man, so many of our women are getting abducted, kidnapped. God said, many days and years you shall be troubled. Our women are troubled, man. They are troubled. God is troubling them in all ways because of disobedience. Disobedient. You out there hollering, whop this and whop that. You should be worshiping and praising. The book of Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 10. Many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless women. God keep calling you careless because you'll leave your children home with nothing to eat. You out there partying. You'll leave your husband there by himself. Won't take care of your needs at your house. But you in so and so and so and so's face. Right? You ain't spoke to your husband in days, but you've been on Facebook all day long. Instagram. And you sisters, you kill me with that. You dress half naked and you got a husband. You let everybody show what you got. Knowing you got a husband. Taking photos, pictures, back shots, front shots. Come on, man. You the daughter of Sarah. God say you at ease, man. For a woman to do that, she got to be at ease. She ain't worried about her husband. She ain't worried about, okay, this man's reputation. Especially he's a man that's serving the Most High God. Right? Many days and years you shall be troubled. Ye careless women. You careless woman. It's like, for the ventures shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. So your ventures are going to fail. You ain't going to be perky all your life. You ain't going to be in your prime all your life. Your knees and back going to start to hurt pretty soon. Right? You ain't going to be doing the things that you used to do back in the days, right? You're going to get old. Right? You old now with 4 or 5 baby daddies, no husband in the house, still bringing kids in the house, kids raising kids in the house. When would it stop? Come back to the Most High God. Right? Become a daughter of Sarah. Right? Verse 11. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Scrip you and make you bear, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. Scrip that lifestyle off you, man. Because if you don't, the Most High God gonna strip it off you. That's what he's doing. You wonder why you're going through hard times and this and that? Because you're being rebellious. You don't wanna, and the thing about that, you won't even listen to a man. How you gonna listen to God in Christ? You don't even respect the man. You don't respect your father. You don't respect your brothers. You don't respect your cousins. You don't respect your son. A lot of our sisters hate men. So tell me how the hell you gonna respect Christ? A lot of them say Christ is your head. How Christ is your head? Well, you don't even respect a man that's on earth. You hate that brother in that heart. Will a man say I love God and hate his brother? Will a woman say I love my sister and hate his brother or hate my son? My husband? Come on. Right? I'm going to go to the book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, 3 and 4. Right? The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, 3 and 4. Whose adorning, let it not be that outer adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold or of putting on of apparels. Read that again. Make that thing more smooth. The book of 1 Peter chapter 2. No, the book of 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 3 and 4. Whose adorning, let it not be that outer adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold or of putting on apparels. So see what the scripture is saying, right? Don't let your outer beauty, right? You dolling yourself up, don't let that take over who you are. Because a lot of our sisters, they do things, they don't even go out the door unless they're hooked up. A lot of them thrive off that. It's okay to want to look good, but don't let that change who you are inside. Don't let that change who you are. Don't let that make you feel like, okay, I'm better than somebody else now because I got braids in my hair now. My braids all the way down to my back now, right? So I'm going to be nasty to the next person now, right? Don't let because you got gold around your neck and around your wrist, right? Determines the way that you walk in life. Because these things can take you away from the Most High God, right? These things can take you away from the Most High God. A lot of our sisters are stuck on these things here to the point where that takes them away from the Most High God. That takes them away from the people that are around them, that look up to them, right? Verse 4. But let it be the hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corrupt even the ornaments of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of Yahweh of a great price. You got to have that meek and quiet spirit, man. I'm going to read that again. I'm going to read that again sharp. But let it be the hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of Yahweh of a great price. This is a great price, right? All praise be to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.